Hi, my name is Wendy Gerasi, and I lead the Connections Ministry here at Neighborhood Church. The mission of the Connections Ministry is to provide a warm and welcoming atmosphere for all who enter our doors. In addition, it's to help us connect people with God and people with one another. I want to let you know how we plan to carry out this mission while still protecting the health and safety of volunteers and church attendees as we reopen the church. We will continue to have greeters and ushers on Sunday mornings, but their roles will be a little bit different than in the past. In this video, we will be providing detailed descriptions for each Connections Ministry volunteer role to serve as a training guide for our volunteers. I'm going to begin by sharing some information and instructions that will apply to all greeter and usher volunteers, and then I will shift to describing the specific responsibilities for each role. Since we will not be using name tags, please wear the Neighborhood Church button that you will be provided with so people will know that you are part of the team that is here to serve and assist them. The buttons will be kept on the shelves in back of the Welcome Center. Please disinfect the button before you put it on and when you take it off. Be sure to maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and others. Please bring your own mask with you to church and wear your mask at all times. Gloves will be provided by the church if you wish to wear them, but they are not required. Be sure to familiarize yourself with the COVID-related practices and procedures we have in place at the church so that you can answer questions that you may receive. You can find the COVID guidelines on the church website, and also a copy will be available on the Welcome Center. If you observe somebody not following the COVID guidelines, please politely remind them to do so. There will be signs highlighting our key rules and expectations in front of the outside doors, in the lobby, and in front of the front and back sanctuary doors. You can refer people to these signs, which can help take the onus off of you personally and onto the guidelines and the church policies. Please be sure to personally abide by all the COVID guidelines that the church has put into place. We want people to know they can trust us to follow the guidelines that we're asking them to take as well. Please sanitize your hands at least once per hour, and please do not eat or drink while actively greeting or ushering. Also, please keep in mind that people cannot see you smile when you have a mask on, so you will need to substitute other greetings or signs of friendliness, which you can do physically by waving or motions such as "come on in," and also verbally saying "good morning, welcome, it's great to see you." And most importantly, we are learning as we go, and we may need to tweak things as we go along, so we ask for your patience and your flexibility. Now I'll describe the specific responsibilities for the front door greeter. As a front door greeter, you will need to start greeting 15 minutes before first service begins, and you will welcome guests as they approach the outside entryway doors. You will stand outside to the right of the doors as you are facing the doors, maintaining at least a 6-foot distance from people entering the church. If the weather does not permit standing outside, you will stand inside toward the right where the coffee used to be set up, again maintaining a 6-foot distance from others and making sure not to block the path between the entryway doors and the back sanctuary doors. Greet people verbally by waving or through the other gestures that I have mentioned, but definitely not with a handshake. Watch for people coming up from the lower parking lot and be sure to greet them as well. You can point or refer people to the sign so they know what to expect and what we expect. If someone approaches the church entryway without a mask on, ask them to put their mask on before they enter the building. If weather permits, prop open the 2 sets of outside doors with door wedges so attendees can walk in without them or the volunteers having to touch the door handles. If the weather does not permit keeping the doors open, the person entering the church can use the wrist grip to open the door. You may need to demonstrate how to use the wrist grip. As a health precaution for both attendees and volunteers, we will not be opening the outside doors for people unless they request it or they are unable to open the doors. We will be encouraging people to sign up to reserve their seats. The standing sign in front of the outside doors will direct anyone who did not sign up for the service to check with the greeter to see if there is space. So when you arrive, you will need to check the reservation seating chart on the Welcome Center or check with the usher to see if there is any space available for people or families who did not register for the service. If someone arrives and mentions that they did not reserve seats and there are no seats available, politely let them know that we have reached our allowed capacity and let them know how they can reserve seats for the next week. You will greet people until they no longer appear to be trickling in, roughly about 15 minutes into the service. Please leave the outside doors propped open when you are finished greeting, if the weather permits. Now I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of the Welcome Center greeter. As a Welcome Center greeter, you will need to start greeting 15 minutes before the first service starts, and you will remain on duty in the foyer throughout the duration of the first and second services to assist anyone who may come in late or for anything else that may come up. You will stand near the Welcome Center, keeping a 6-foot distance from others. Please do not stand in the path from the outside entry doors to the back of the sanctuary. You can point people and direct them by saying, "You can enter through the back doors," or "Please this way." We want attendees to get in the habit of entering through the back sanctuary doors to encourage one-way traffic. We will greet everyone who comes in verbally by waving and the other gestures that we mentioned earlier, but please no handshakes. Be sure to look for any new guests and welcome them, engaging them to the extent that they want to be engaged. We will not be handing them Connect cards or name tags, but you can let them know that they can find Connect cards and prayer cards in the sanctuary seat backs or on the Neighborhood Church website. The Welcome Center greeter can depart for the day at the end of the second service. Please close the outside doors when you leave the church for the day. And now I'll describe the usher role. As an usher, you will need to arrive 30 minutes prior to the start of the first service to complete some initial prep and then be in position at the sanctuary doors 15 minutes before first service begins. The usher should stay near the back sanctuary doors throughout the duration of both services in case they need to seat latecomers or in case anything else comes up. When you arrive, please move the standing sign with the COVID guidelines from the corner of the lobby to the front porch between the two sets of doors. Also, please put out the welcome flags on the front porch, but we will not be putting out the welcome flags or the sandwich boards on Redland Road. Ensure that all 4 front entrances are unlocked, and then check the sanctuary and restroom and remove any stray trash or items. Please also check that the sanctuary chairs are set up correctly and adjust them if they aren't. However, they should be set up correctly when you arrive. Ushers will be provided with a seating chart on the Welcome Center indicating the seating section or sections for each person or family who has reserved seats. As people approach the sanctuary, you will point them to the reserved seats for their household. They should sit with their household only. A large household may have 2 seating sections. If people arrive who have not reserved seats, check the seating chart to see if any seats are available, and if so, point them to the appropriate seating section. If the sanctuary reaches capacity, turn around the standing signs in front of the outside doors, in the lobby, and in front of the back and front sanctuary doors to the side that indicates that the service has reached our allowable capacity. Please let the front door greeter know if the service reaches capacity so they can communicate that to anyone who arrives without seat reservations. At the end of the second service, move the offering receptacle that is in the sanctuary to the kitchen near the safe and then lock the kitchen door. After second service, please bring in the standing sign from the front porch and store it in the corner near where the coffee used to be. We hope that this training video provides a helpful picture of what it will look like to serve in the Connections Ministry when Neighborhood Church reopens. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch.